The recurring one-to-one that sat on your calendar for 2 years disappears on a Tuesday with no explanation. You tell yourself people cancel meetings. Then, a project you have owned since January appears in an update with someone else's name on it. Then, a folder you opened every week returns an access error. Your salary arrived on schedule. Your title has not changed. Yet the room feels different, and you cannot point to one document that would justify raising it. This is about that gap, how to separate noise from a real pattern, and how to respond without damaging a position you may keep. Bad news gives you a problem. Ambiguous danger gives you 100 possible problems and forces you to rehearse all of them. Research on uncertain threat helps explain why. When the danger is undefined, attention keeps returning to every possible outcome because you cannot prepare for one. So you read everything, even the delay before a reply. Then a loop begins. The environment becomes harder to interpret, so you monitor it constantly, so your concentration drops, so you overwork or withdraw or turn defensive, and those reactions can then be read as the performance problem you feared. Start with the social temperature, what you notice first. Your manager becomes briefer, cooler, more formal. Coworkers become careful around you. Enormous emotional weight, very little evidential weight. A manager under budget pressure may be short with everyone. Colleagues sense tension without holding information about your future. It matters when the change is new, aimed mainly at you, sustained, and matched by changes to the work. Then the information perimeter. Meetings vanish. Decisions affecting your workload get made without you. Colleagues relay news that once reached you directly. Losing a routine status update may mean little. Losing planning, budget, client, or decision-making conversations means something else, because those rooms build next quarter. Is the organization still planning its future with me inside it? Then the role. Work moves, which proves nothing alone, so separate 4 movements. Redistribution means tasks leave and comparable responsibility comes back. Reduction means important work leaves and nothing replaces it. Dependency removal means others are taught to do what used to require you. Authority withdrawal means you stay accountable while losing the access, budget, or decision rights needed to deliver. That last one creates a failure trap. You remain judged on results without the tools needed to produce them. Access changes are facts rather than impressions. A dashboard closes. That deserves a concrete answer. It may reflect a migration, security review, permission cleanup, or error. It can also accompany a transfer or separation process. Never work around it, never borrow credentials, and do not probe other systems to discover what still opens. Ask instead, was this access change intentional, and has the scope of my role changed? Then documentation. Corrections that once came in conversation now arrive as dated recap emails using phrases like "as previously discussed." Written records are normal, often responsible management. What matters is asymmetry. Failures are recorded while good work goes unmentioned, context omitted, old incidents reinterpreted, support you asked for left out of the record. A standard appears in writing for the first time after you supposedly missed it. The danger is not that someone wrote something down. The danger is that the written record has stopped describing your work and started constructing a case about you. Hold that as a possibility to test. Unexpected attendees work the same way. An HR representative, a second manager, or someone you do not know joins a routine one-to-one. Their presence tells you nothing about the outcome. It tells you the conversation has moved from informal to witnessed and possibly attached to a process. So open with this. Before we start, could you clarify the purpose of this meeting, everyone's role, and whether this is routine, performance-related, or investigatory?
And the answers go vague.
Nothing has been decided. Just keep doing your job. Vagueness can mean genuine uncertainty, confidentiality, avoidance, or a refusal to commit. You cannot read the mind behind it. Use the more reliable test. Does the reassurance match what happens next? Being told you are fine deserves less weight than what happens next, while access, authority, and future-facing work keep disappearing. Nobody told you your position had changed. The room simply stopped treating you like someone who would still be there. Before reaching a conclusion, test the pattern 6 ways. Novelty, whether this differs from how the place normally runs. Clustering, whether changes span several areas or one. Asymmetry, whether the team is affected or mainly you. Direction, whether you are losing information, authority, and future-facing work. Persistence, whether this was one bad week or a role that keeps contracting. Explanation quality, whether what you are told is specific, consistent, and matched by action. This is judgment, not a validated score, and it cannot tell you the outcome. One cold reply is not a conclusion. A cooling relationship, meeting exclusion, reassigned clients, reduced access, and new documentation deserve a direct question. A feeling is an alert. A pattern justifies questions. Written communication creates the record. Ask carefully. The message that turns an unclear situation into a documented conduct problem is the emotional one. I know you are trying to get rid of me puts an accusation on the record and creates something to answer that has nothing to do with the changes. Name observable facts instead. Over the last 2 weeks, the Anderson account was reassigned. I was removed from the planning meetings and my reporting access changed. Has my role, performance standing, or the team structure changed? If they raise performance, narrow it. What are the specific concerns? What examples are being relied upon? What standard was expected and what time frame applies? If they raise restructuring, ask which decisions are final, which remain under review, who owns the decision, and when to expect an update. If they stay vague, put a date on the ambiguity. What can you confirm today, and when should we revisit what remains unresolved? Keep a private chronology. Dates, assignment changes, meeting removals, access changes, feedback, questions asked, answers received. This is a professional record, not a conspiracy file. Send short recaps after important conversations, beginning with, "My understanding from today's conversation is," then the facts, then an invitation to correct anything wrong. Keep it lawful. You may retain personal employment records you are entitled to hold. Do not export confidential material, forward client data, work around access controls, alter records, or record a meeting secretly without checking local law and policy. Meanwhile, update your resume, review your finances, identify lawful work samples, let a few network conversations run. That is optionality, not surrender. Do not confess to allegations nobody has made. Do not try to fix an unnamed problem with unlimited hours. Do not pressure colleagues for information they may not have, and do not run a rumor campaign, although some discussions of working conditions may be legally protected depending on the jurisdiction and circumstances. Do not resign to escape not knowing. 4 ways this goes. An explanation arrives and responsibilities return, so you keep performing and watching. Specific concerns are named, so you request measurable expectations, examples, support, and a timeline. Reassurance stays vague while the role keeps shrinking, so you prepare seriously and get advice for your jurisdiction. Or a formal process begins, so ask for it in writing and check your contract, union representation, and local rights. The hardest part of this is usually the wording, being direct without sounding frightened, accusatory, or apologetic. The Workplace Response Kit gives you practical language for difficult conversations when the pressure of the moment makes clear thinking harder. If you need those words ready beforehand, the link is in the description. You cannot control what other people may already have decided. You can control whether fear makes you accuse, over-explain, resign early, or burn credibility you may still need. Observe what changed. Separate fact from interpretation. Ask direct questions and record the answers. Protect lawful records. Build options. You do not yet know whether this job is ending. Until you do, uncertainty does not get to make your decisions.